Good morning, everybody. It is May 26th, Wednesday, the day of my live stream. Be doing that from Jackson Brown's studio today because we are halfway through the week with the immediate family in the studio. And we got 2 more tracks yesterday, so we got 4 songs done so far in the past 2 days, and they're just killing it. It was really fun yesterday. At the end of the day, Jackson came down to the studio and listened, and he was just going, "Yeah, this is great." It's really nice to get affirmation from somebody who you respect as much as we respect Jackson. So it was a good hang. We really had a nice time, and looking forward to getting back over there. Just finished doing a birthday cameo for somebody and sent that off. I think it was for their father, so that's cool. And I've got a couple of book orders to fill here that I'm going to run on my way to the studio and stop at the post office and dump those off and just let the boys out. And after I finish this video, I will feed them. They like to sleep in. I wish I could do that. But I was thinking about different things. It was really fun doing Byron Berline yesterday. It's great. I mean, bluegrass is just one of those kind of musics that it's hard to ever not feel up when you're listening to it because the energy level is so infectious and so intense that I really enjoyed having that. I've got more of that stuff in the back pocket. I'll get to it at another point. But I was kind of sticking in sort of the idiom here. I'm going to go back and visit somebody who's one of the very first people that ever got me to Nashville to work with. And we had a great time, and it really turned me on to kind of what the scene was all about there. And he's primarily known as a songwriter. I mean, he does production. He's an artist, but his songwriting is really what his career has been dominated by. And he's incredibly successful at it. And his name is Rafe Van Hoy. And I went down there in 1980 to do an album called Prisoner of the Sky with him. Now, we'd never met, but it was really great to go down there. And at the time, he and Deborah Allen were married. And she's a wonderful artist, and I worked with her. And they had we got real deep into it. They had a dog, I believe his name was Hooper, but they would call him Humper for obvious reasons when you were around him. But Rafe turned me on to a bunch of things. Like he called me at one point and said, "It's 4 a.m., let's go." "What are you talking about?" And I woke up, and he came by and picked me up because they had one of the very first Krispy Kremes down there in those days. And I guess at 4 a.m. was when the first batch came out. There was a big red sign on the building, neon sign, it's fresh donuts. And so we went there, and he said, "Now don't chew it, just put it in your mouth and let it melt." And it did. It was unbelievable. I mean, and then the Krispy Kreme went on to become like this big deal everywhere. And, it's like, like when they opened in Los Angeles, all of a sudden everybody had to have Krispy Kremes, and they were running around with their boxes of them. It's like I remember being in Japan when the very first McDonald's opened in the Ginza district. And I was there. I think I was with Mike Baird. We were working on a project over there. And we went down to the Ginza and looked. And the line to get into McDonald's must have been over a mile long. People were so fascinated with the idea of this American hamburger. And it was nuts just sitting there like for an afternoon on the sidewalk, just watching people going in and out of there, just with their hamburger. It was a trip. Yeah, it's funny when those things happen. But Rafe was really wonderful to work with. But I excusez-moi, as I whip this out. I made some notes about him, and it's a really fascinating cat. It said he started as a songwriter as a really young, but he got his first songwriting deal at 17. And then over the next 7 years, he had 10 number one songs along with 200 cuts by other artists. In one 3.5 year period, he had 50 to 60 songs cut a year. That is a productive songwriter. But he's worked in lots of different genres. It's not just been country. But he did session work also as a guitarist and as a musician, and did production work. But he's earned 11 BMI 1 million airplay awards and 3 BMI 2 million airplay awards. And the songs that he's written have been recorded by George Jones and Tammy Wynette, the Oak Ridge Boys, John Connolly, Patty Loveless, Reba McEntire, Leanne Rimes, Isaac Hayes, Paul Carrick, Diana Ross, Fleetwood Mac, and Brooks and Dunn, so many more. But his songwriting catalog apparently represents over 50 million records. And it's one of those names that probably most haven't heard about because, especially for the writers, they're under the radar. And Carole King was under the radar until we talked her into becoming an artist. But she and Carole and Jerry Goffin had an incredible catalog before anybody ever discovered Tapestry or anything like that. So I'm going to play just a couple of tunes of Rafe's. He's really great, and it's really great because I pull up YouTube and I see videos of him now. I mean, this was 1980, so I mean we're looking at 40 plus years ago that we did this, and then I see the videos and he sounds great, and it's just great to see him, and it's one of the beauties of having YouTube is this kind of documentation of careers and lives, and you can see people throughout. You can see somebody when they were, I think it was one of the artists that I've featured on here is Tony Galla, and Tony's amazing. But I look on YouTube under Tony Galla, and it can go all the way back to when his family appeared when he was 12 years old on the Ted Mack Amateur Hour. So it's pretty amazing, all that stuff that's available on YouTube, and that's what kind of got me sucked into doing this in the first place. I was always not a junkie for YouTube, but I really appreciate what it has to offer, and I try to take pretty full advantage of it and discover new things and keep abreast of what's going on in the world of music and the arts. So this is a song. This is really a beautiful song that's been covered so many times. And I really loved that we got to play on this one. So this is from Rafe's Prisoner of the Sky album, 1980, Rafe Van Hoy, and this is called What's Forever For, and the band on this is myself, Eddie Bayers, Rafe and Jerry Shook on guitar, David Briggs, and Bobby Emmons on keyboards, and the background vocalists are Don Gant and Bergen White on this one. So here's What's Forever For.
I've been looking at people and how they change with the times. And lately all I've been seeing are people throwing love away and losing their minds. Well, maybe it's me that's gone crazy, 'cause I can't understand why all these lovers keep hurting each other, when good love is so hard to come by. So what's the glory in living? Doesn't anybody ever stay together anymore? And if love never lasts forever, tell me what's forever for? been listening to people, and they say love is the key. And it's not my way to let them lead me astray. It's only that I want to believe. But I see love-hungry people trying their best to survive, while in their hand is a dying romance, and they're not even trying to keep it alive. So what's the glory in living? Doesn't anybody ever stay together anymore? And if love never lasts forever, tell me, what's forever for?
Now, that's a beautiful ballad. When I was looking up credits on it, I did not see credits for who did the orchestral arrangements or who the players were on that. So if anybody finds that and wants to throw it into a comment section on this, that would be great to have that, because I think everybody deserves credit on these. And a lot of times when the records start, I always hear things and I go, yeah, I didn't see anybody credited with steel or, fiddle or something on it. And then you have to dig into like a whole bunch of sites and suddenly that stuff will appear. So if anybody wants to jump into that, that would be great. Let me see what else we got. Oh, I think let me try this one right here. Let's see what this is a song called "Keep Me Hanging On," and this is again myself, Eddie Bayers, and Rafe on guitar, Dennis Burnside on keyboards, and Don Gant and Deborah Allen on background vocals. Eddie Bayers is one of my all-time favorite drummers that I've ever gotten to work with, and almost, I would say 90% of everything I did in Nashville, all the years I was going there and all the tons of records I was lucky enough to play on down there, Eddie was generally the drummer on it. Paul Lime did some of them. I did some work with Shannon Forrest, and there's a lot. I mean, the wealth of musicians in Nashville is quite staggering. Every seat is got like 10 guys deep in it that are great, and it was really, I felt very fortunate to have gotten to be a part of that scene down there, and I really pretty much owe that to Jimmy Bowen, having brought me down there after doing his work in Los Angeles. But Eddie just an exquisite drummer to play with. So this one is called "Keep Me Hanging On." Let's see what we got here.
Sometimes I wonder why I love you like I do. With the torture and trouble that I let you put me through. There's no question in my mind if I'm gonna be here tomorrow, waiting on you to lift me up or let me go. 'Cause you give me love, just enough to keep me hanging on. Yes, you give me love, just enough to keep me hanging on. I used to think that the lonely life was the price of no abuse. Just you give me love, just enough to keep me hanging on. Give me love, keep on giving me love. Just you give me love, must be good enough to keep me hanging on. You keep me hanging on.
Cool. It's just so much of that. I mean, the flavors of that is so much, like when I think back to all the stuff we were doing with people like Brindle and Karla Bonoff and all these Andrew Gold and all the songwriters. There's this common bond between all of these people, and kind of didn't matter what the genre was. They were all really fine writers and really amazing stuff. Last thing I'm going to play for you is called Silver Saxophone. And again, myself, Eddie Bayers, Reggie Young on guitar and Rafe on guitar, Dennis Burnside on keyboards, and Jay Patton on saxophone, and Deborah Allen singing backgrounds on this. And if suddenly there's an orchestra, somebody look that up and let me know. We'll see what happens. But here's Silver Saxophone.
Taxi cab, don't be late. Lonely man has got a date. With his arm around her now, he's headed on downtown to make the show. Never did learn how to dance. No one takes a second glance. He knows he'll be hot tonight when the band is playing tight, and he holds it to his lips with his burning fingertips and plays his saxophone, silver saxophone, plays it, saxophone, silver saxophone.
Yeah.
Band gets hot, the night's on fire. The crowd is screaming, take it higher. When the time's right, he steps into the light and lets it go. Smoky room is hypnotized as he makes love before their eyes. Then the lonely man steps down. The girls are gathered round, but he turns and walks away, leaves them begging him to stay and play his saxophone, silver saxophone, play his saxophone, silver saxophone.
it's a nice breadth of material on that. And I remember we did that. Tree Publishing in Nashville had a studio, I believe, in their building, and that's where we recorded this album. Was at Tree. Don Ganton, Ron Chansey was their setup over there. So Rafe Van Hoy, I mean, check him out. There's so much a wealth of material. The guy's written so many great songs and been covered by so many artists. He's another one that to me is well worth investigating as we do this kind of channel. He went from, I mean, I'll get back to this too. I promise you. I've got lots of playing yet to do on this channel. But it went from like the playing channel to more of a forensics into the history from myself, from all the different kinds of projects that I've worked on. I was originally going to do some stuff today for an Japanese artist named Iruka, who we did her album here at Sunset Sound and then went over to Japan and toured with her. And but I'm trying to. Some stuff is just really hard to get information about and get YouTube performances of things. So I'm still looking at a lot of different things. But as soon as I passed by Rafe's name, I went, oh no, Rafe's great. Let's go check him out. So I'm going to wish everybody a great day. I'm going to fill out my couple of book orders and run over. And I think when I'm over there, then I'll run to Smart and Final. I need to pick up some household cleaner and some different things for tidying up the house. And I'm going to head to the studio and we're going to try to get another couple of songs today. And then at 3:00, all the people who are Clubhouse members, I will be live streaming from the studio. I'll be stationary, but I'll try to get the guys to come over and stick their mugs in and say hi and take a moment like I did with Dean Parks last time when I was in the studio with him. Because this has got to be a mobile adventure. Because as things start to open up, we'll be traveling more and doing things, and that's what I want to do, is take all of this stuff with me on the road and continue this process. I have no intention of slowing down, that's for sure. So wish you a great day. Frontliners, thank you again every day for all you're doing. It's kind of scary watching Japan right now. I mean, they're still debating. They've only had, I think, 5% vaccination rate, and COVID numbers are going up in Japan. I have so many friends in Japan. I'm so concerned for them. But, the Olympics are looming, and God knows, I mean, this is just insane. So there's so many things going on that just need to be thought out. And what's best for people's safety more than the wallet. Making your money isn't going to help you if you're not alive to spend it and enjoy it. So we'll see what happens. So thank you, all you frontline workers who are doing so much effort every day to keep this all going. So I'll be back tomorrow, and I guess that's it for now. So I'll just say bye-bye. Bye-bye.